And welcome to Lakota West High School. Tonight, it is going to be the Princeton Vikings taking on the Lakota West Firebirds in GMC action. I am Bill Bretz, and joining me is Steve Nguyen. And Steve, GMC battle, it's always a big one. You see Coach Andy Fishman in his 21st year. He's against another legendary coach, and Jill Phillips over at Princeton. So it should be a good one tonight.
Very good one. The first matchup, seemed. I think the score was probably low. The score didn't indicative. It wasn't indicative of the game itself. I don't think. The score of 73-47 in the first meeting. I think it was probably a little closer than what that may look like. And tonight, I think we're expecting kind of the same thing. The offense will go through DeAsia Reed for Princeton. Right. And obviously Abby Prohaska for the Lakota West Firebirds.
Reed, of course, was first team in the GMC last year. Lakota West got the tip there. Henderson, Jones, Ballou, Dean, and Prohaska starting for the Firebirds. And Wilden, Morris, White, Heinzman, and Reed.
Reed picking up the first foul there.
Yes, DeAsia Reed got a foul very early on in this game. Jill Phillips, 14th year at Princeton. Jill, of course, was 12 years at Princeton, and back in 14, they won the state championship. She decided to resign from coaching there, went over to Lakota East for a couple years, and now has back at Princeton now in her second year. And I tell you, Jill, everywhere she goes, she has a winning team. So she has done an outstanding job of coaching over the years.
Well, I tell you, good coaches always have good programs. So it just doesn't matter what uniform they're wearing. They just bring a great program to them.
So two good coaches, two very successful coaches here in this game tonight.
Yep.
Of course, as most people know, Andy is the only coach Lakota West has ever had.
Yeah, if anybody who knows Andy, he really engages the community to his program, which is fantastic.
Right. The only other coach at Lakota West that have been there the entire time, of course, Larry Cox.
Yeah,
football coach.
No doubt. We'll see how Princeton handles the pressure situation today, because that was kind of the name of the game and the last time they faced each other. A lot of turnovers by Princeton.
There's a three-point shot taken by Jones, no good. So we've had played a little over a minute and a half and no score in this game so far. One thing about it is when we did our game last week, Madison Oxley and Abby Haar for Lakota West were not in the game. They were still undergoing concussion protocol, but they're back tonight, both on the bench and both are dressed.
Good deal.
Should see action tonight. Dean underneath. Gives it off to Ballou, no good. And there's Reed with the rebound.
That's an unfortunate foul there.
That foul was on Bree Henderson. That's her first. And that is the first on West.
Also absent the last game we did together was freshman Dedukovic, who was down in Florida attending a national,
soccer camp. I asked Bob Ashby if we knew anything about it, if she made it. I guess they haven't made their decision yet. Reed going up and battling underneath with Dean. Nevaeh Dean, good job of blocking her out and did not foul. So Princeton with the ball, triggering in underneath the basket is Heinzman. Now Reed with the drive. Too hard off the basket. Prohaska with the rebound. Back the other direction comes the Firebirds. Dean. Cross court to Prohaska. Moving the ball around. 10-footer. Off the rim there by Prohaska. It's going to go the other direction. One interesting thing about Jasmine Ballou on Lakota West team, she is, of course, a senior. Jasmine spent her freshman and sophomore year at Princeton.
Yeah, it's interesting. You think of those days, those things happening in college where they come from one college and transfer to the other, but it does happen at the high school level.
Yeah, it does.
Injuries kind of change playing perspectives, and opportunities show themselves, and then they end up in a different school.
Sarah Jones with the steal. Malika Wilden with the frustration foul there after the steal.
Interesting decision by Princeton going with the zone here to kind of slow up the game, force West to be more patient.
Prohaska kicks it back out to Ballou and short.
And so far it's working.
Well, we played almost a half a quarter here, and there is still no score. As Jada Scale is about ready to come in the game here for Lakota West.
West again looking for some creation on the turnovers and then some transition baskets. That's what they're looking for here.
Allie Har also about ready to come in. Reed, baseline shot, no good. And Jones had a hard time hanging on to it, but it's knocked out of bounds by Wilden. As Gale's coming in the game for her first action tonight, and also we see Allie Har coming in. Allie, a 5'6" senior. This is the last home game of the season for Lakota West, but it's not senior night. Their senior night was at the East-West game a couple weeks ago. Kind of interesting. I don't hear everybody doing it that way, but for the seniors tonight, this will be their last game on this floor. Jones triggering into Prohaska. Baseline by Gales, and Gales loses it, throws it out of bounds. As we see Darius Braddock's 5'7" sophomore coming in now for Princeton, replacing Wilden.
Firebirds are having a little tough time trying to figure out the zone and working the ball inside with some extra passing.
Jill Phillips does not have a deep bench tonight. She only has 10 players dressed here on varsity. Prohaska. Now the foul was before the shot. It was Trinity Morris, that's her first. So it'll be taken out of bounds. That's the team's second. Jones with the ball over the Gales. Gales, 5'8" junior. Allie Har cross court to Prohaska. Prohaska in the lane, and Prohaska travels.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good defense by Braddock there. She stayed right with her. And
yeah, Princeton did a nice job of responding to the passing back and forth and then allowing for an ill-advised picking up the dribble there for Prohaska.
Number 11, Madison Oxley now seeing her first action for West. There's a drive going coast to coast was Trinity Morris.
Reed picks up the scraps.
And Reed gets the first basket of the game, believe it or not, at 3:13 to go in the first quarter. And bounce off the rim there, and no good by Gales.
Ooh, fans not happy with that call. Thinking that the Firebirds touched it last, but doesn't matter what the fans think, I don't think.
Yeah, Wilden back in the ball game along with Ballou. Oxley triggering in now. And there's foul underneath Ballou, working the basket and working hard underneath. She's going to go to the line. Foul is on Heinzman. That's her first, and that's the team's fourth. Jasmine, a 74% foul shooter.
You know, you mentioned Coach Phillips' experience and the talent that she's wielded through the years and created through the years in the program. Clearly showing how her programming and the preparation for this game is showing. I mean, the defense is working, keeping the game tight, keeping control of the ball, and making West be patient.
And she gets every bit of that rim and gets her second foul shot. Meanwhile, Jamisa Smith, 6'1" senior, coming in for Princeton, number 32. It's Wilden.
Excellent defense by Har, putting the pressure on her, forcing that turnover.
Prohaska back in the ball game. Dean takes a seat in the bench, so everybody's gotten at least a little bit of rest here on the starters here for Lakota West. Har over to Oxley. Har, oh, that is, she throws it away.
Yep.
Braddock's. And
there's a charge. There it is.
Yeah, it's a charge by Malika Wilden, and that is her second foul, so she's going to be coming out of there.
Great job by Prohaska.
That's a 5th foul on Princeton. She's replaced by Trinity Morris. Yeah, Prohaska did a good job at taking the charge.
Yeah.
So, very low-scoring game. Very quick quarter so far. Approaching the 2-minute mark. Allie Har misses everything on a 3-pointer. And a foul is on Gales. Jadis Gales picks up her first, and that's the second on the Firebirds.
Having trouble getting it in.
They are. Nice defense, and they do get it in.
Nice step in.
But taken right back by West.
Great job.
Oh, great job by Gales. Prohaska in the paint. No good. Approaching the 1:40 mark to go in this quarter, and it's, yeah, that score's right that you see there. It's 2-2.
A little tripping foul, I think.
That's Trinity Morris with the drive. That's a second foul on Gales. So that will put Trinity Morris at the line, 51% foul shooter. As a team, they're shooting around 59%.
That could come back and haunt them in a tight game.
Yes, it could. And Madison Rochelle, a 5'8" freshman, coming in the game for Princeton. Seeing her first action, she's number 12. And misses them both. Huxley. And Henderson couldn't hold on to it.
Some miscommunication there. Henderson ducked underneath that ball, not realizing it was for her. I don't think this is quite the quarter Coach Fishman was looking for early on.
No, much different than the first game, that's for sure.
Tough place to pick up a dribble. Now she's in trouble.
And there's a trip up there, and it's...
Oh, we had a timeout.
30-second timeout called by Jill Phillips just before she was tripped in there going around. So, yeah, that's the score. We played almost our first quarter, and it is the only baskets we've had here is Deasia Reed with a putback and Jasmine Malou with 2 foul shots. Easy to keep track of this. West has won 7 of the last 10 times these teams have met, including 2 times they met in the postseason. They've won 7 in a row. So in the postseason, the last 10 games are 1-1. Princeton won in 2014. Of course, 2014, Jasmine Ballou's sister scored 15 points in Princeton's win over Lakota West in the final 8. And of course, Princeton went on to win the state championship, led by this Kelsey Mitchell, who just broke the Big Ten record in scoring, I understand.
For the Ohio State University.
Yes.
My alma mater.
She was a scoring machine in high school. She's a scoring machine in college, and I'm just wondering if she's going to the WNBA. Okay, yeah. I got right.
Yeah,
I my initials right there.
Yeah, they're right.
I would say she would be a legitimate candidate for them, if that's the direction she wants to go.
I got to tell you, shooting percentage from West is going to be the telling story in the first quarter.
34 seconds ago.
They shot 51% from the floor in the first matchup. Be interesting to see where they're at right now.
And much lower than that, that's for sure.
Oh boy.
And that's going to be a trip, and she traveled. Braddock's was tripped up there, but she traveled before she was tripped up. So 23 seconds ago, Lakota West will get one more shot at this probably. Let's see if they'll just play for one now. Henderson with the ball. Henderson's going to take a three-pointer, misses everything. I tell you, last 2 3-pointers they've thrown up, her and Jones, they've missed everything. I don't know.
Well, that shot there looked rushed to me. Certainly not something they need to do right away. Still 13 seconds left in the game, or in the quarter. Great job by Prohaska using her body. That's a reach foul.
Reach-in foul on, looks like number 5, and that would be Trinity Morris. That'll be her second foul. So that's 2 Vikings with 2 fouls each, her and Wilden.
With a thin bench, that won't play out well for Princeton.
Blue, three-pointer off the rim. Rebounded by the Vikes. And long shot. Oh, off the rim.
We were fortunate that wasn't a foul there.
It could have been a 4-point play.
Yeah.
That's how Xavier had one of those. Okay, that's how they ended up tying in regulation. But yeah, we're tied here in regulation, 2-2.
Wow.
At the end of the first quarter. That is a very low-scoring game. You know, Lakota West is coming off of a game that you have to do a double check when you look at it. They beat Coleraine at 89-3.
Yeah, I tell you, sometimes as a coach, that's a bad situation to have.
That is, and in the tournament,
yeah,
Coleraine has drew a bye, but their first game will probably be against Lakota West in the tournaments. So that's bad. I'm sure that's a struggle, and if you're a coach, you don't. That's not a game you really want.
I tell you, both sides lose in that situation.
Yeah, exactly.
You have Coleraine, who probably would like to go further in the tournament and not have to face a Lakota West that early. Then you have on Coach Fishman's side a situation where you don't want to let down coming into the next game, which is all important.
Exactly. Now, I guess the silver lining is, if you look at the scorebook, he played a lot of players, and he had a lot of players get points off the bench and everything. That gives you that experience for the tournament down the road here. Andy runs 8-9 girls out there usually, and it's been a kind of a trait of Coach Fishman's team is run quite a few out there, and but it gives those girls a little experience.
It does.
Going tournament time.
It does. It does help the bench, but it hurts the starters because the starters don't have the pressure they normally play under.
Prohaska, three-pointer.
There
you go. Maybe that'll get them going here. So, Prohaska got her first points of the game.
Well, this offense stops and goes with Abby Prohaska, so we need to see that.
And back the other direction come Willow White, the 5'6" sophomore, matches baskets.
Great answer for Princeton.
The good thing about it is we've got more points in the first 30 seconds. We did the whole first quarter, though.
See, this type of pressure is going to favor the Firebirds.
Morris, that's no good. Reed, though, put back. Reed, it's short.
Hello. Oh, there's a technical.
That's going to be a technical on Reed.
She lost her cool a little bit.
And Ballou just slammed. You could hear that all the way over here. She hit the floor hard, and I think we're going to see this again. They were battling for the ball, and
really it was already called dead.
Yeah.
With the foul, and really there was no sense for Reed to do that. Kind of a little frustration reaction.
When she was a sophomore, Blue had an injury when she was playing with Princeton, and they moved into the Lakota district, and she's been playing with the Firebirds here for 2 years. She's still on the floor right now, and what I'm sure right now is, Steve, the trainers are being very, very careful.
Yes.
Making sure everything is all right with her. She's sitting up now. Coach Fishman's over there, trainers over there. But boy, you could hear her go down hard on the floor.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is she did make contact with the floor with her head, so concussion protocol is automatic.
Yeah. So and you can see down there, she's kind of holding the back of her head right now. She is not feeling too good, and I would imagine right now, Steve, we have seen, that's the last we'll see of Jasmine here tonight.
I would think you're right. Very, very a lot of precaution with concussion. We talked last week about that.
Yeah.
Dukovic taking the free throws.
And Kalen think that was for the foul. This might be that was for the foul, which was on Reed.
Yeah. I think you're exactly right, because Dukovic actually subbed in for her. She has to take the free throws.
Yeah. She missed them both, and well, finally Sarah Jones gets one. And it'll be
I think the Dukovic only had one. It was the front end of the 1-and-1.
Dukovic.
Yep.
Kaylin is a 5'11 freshman, has come into the ball game, replacing Ballou.
Pretty amazing, 5'11 freshman, and a well-recognized soccer player on top. So she's probably got great footwork, good understanding of the movement. You can see right there, soccer players have great understanding of floor movement and spacing.
Trinity Morris up ahead, and the basket is good by Ashley Davis, who's come into the ball game for Princeton. That puts the Vikes up by 1. Jones off the rim, offensive rebound by Dean. Dean short. That's Ivanovic had the rebound but loses it. So the action's really picked up.
Yeah.
And three-pointer again. It's no good. Back the other direction comes West.
Real hold foul.
And we got a foul coming up.
Coach Phillips isn't happy with that call because I think she's wanting it both sides and both ways.
And Heinzman picks up her second foul. So Heinzman, Reed, Morris, and Wilden all have 2 fouls each. We show 9, so I'm not sure. I think does Reed get a double foul for the technical?
She does. The team gets a foul for that, yes.
Yeah. And Bree Henderson made the first foul shot. Ties this ball game at 7. So that would put 3 fouls into Asia Reed.
Yeah. Actually, to your question, I don't know if that counts as a personal foul or not. That's a great
think
question.
it does.
Okay.
I think it used not be, but I think now over the years it counts as personal foul. But I think she got assessed with 2 of them.
Yeah.
The personal and the technical counts as a personal foul.
Yeah.
Morris with the drive. Good work by Henderson for guarding her. Ball out of bounds.
Great movement with her feet. Really denying the opportunity to be an easy basket, and then she just kind of lost control of the ball.
Rochelle back in the ball game for Princeton. Firebirds have a 2-point lead, or a 1-point lead. Prohaska cross court to Gales. Prohaska going to take 3-pointer. That's going to be off.
Dukovic
with the rebound. Yeah, she's working hard under the basket right now. Short, Jones.
Another
no
great
good.
Offensive rebound.
I tell you what, they're getting a lot of looks at the basket, Steve. Just nothing's going in.
Yeah. And some nights go like that. Some nights do happen to be like that in basketball.
Wilden coming back in the ball game. Malika Wilden. She has 2 fouls. As I mentioned before, Coach Phillips does not have a deep bench. He only has 5 other players dressed on that bench right now.
Yeah. Not typical for a varsity program.
Nope.
Or team.
Little White, and that White is stolen. Back the other direction comes
great take.
Jones, and basket's no good.
Princeton really would be better served to slow things down. I think they're making a mistake by trying to run the game with West.
Bree Henderson just picked up her second foul, so she's coming out of the game. Allie Haar back in. Madison Oxley back in. We'll try to find out at halftime tonight what the status is on Jasmine Ballou, but we wish her the best.
Yes.
Very important part of this Lakota West team. Michelle had a hard time hanging on to it, but does, and now drives. A little off-balance shot there, and it's no good. Vucevic back out to Prohaska, three-pointer, got it. That second one for Abby. She's drained 2 of them.
Obviously, West is leading scorer both in season and also the last matchup.
Now West
Coach
has
Fishman putting the pressure.
West has her largest lead at 4 now.
This is where Coach Fishman does a very nice job. When he sees the blood in the water, he sends the attack out. And here they are putting pressure on the ball. Just like a shark would attack.
Nevaeh Dean back in the ball game for Lakota West. And Vucevic takes a seat on the bench.
Quality minutes from her.
Absolutely. And stolen on the inbounds. Up the other direction, Allie Har, it's short. Oxley, though, with the offensive rebound, back out to Dean, and Prohaska, another three-pointer, drains it. That's 3 of them for Abby.
Boy, that's
She
huge.
has 9 points, just like that.
That is huge. Great job by Oxley on the follow-up on that play to keep the ball into West's hands.
Jill Phillips is going to call full time out.
Smart play.
So we said Jill spent 12 years at Princeton and capped that off after 12 years with the state championship in 2014, and then came over to the Lakota East. We saw her East. She was in battle in the East-West battle here for a couple years, and she did a good job over at over the East. The years she was there, she had 2 years at East, and then she's back here, and so. The year she was at East, I think they have winning records both the years there. So, and she came back over and had a winning record last year at 17-8, and comes in this game 11-7, and 10-4 in the league.
You know, in high school sports, it's very difficult because you don't technically recruit. So keeping a program consistently strong really speaks to the coach.
Yeah.
And to me, that's why Coach Fishman, Coach Phillips, both of them have very honorable records. Just purely, no matter where they show up, they teach a good winning style.
I don't think you ever see Coach Phillips ever get excited. So she's very calm out there.
That's pretty cool too.
And
how were you when you were a coach? Were you pretty calm out there?
Yeah, I was with the other coach I had, the girls coach of our team. She was the emotional one.
Oh.
So it's like most of the time it was like good cop, bad cop kind of thing. But I could get a little excited out there. But most of the time I was fairly calm.
You know what I learned? I learned it's depending on the sport. In football, you can go crazy and everybody's accepting that.
Yeah.
In soccer, when I coached soccer, I had to sit there quietly and everybody accepts that.
No. You can in soccer. Come on. Just look at the Bailey down at the FC Cincinnati games. Come on.
That's all a different game.
Nobody gets calm in that game. We're down to almost 3 minutes.
Deep.
Oh, my gosh. That's like NBA three-pointer there for Miss Jones, but it's off the rim.
Look at Prohaska with a heads-up play.
Oh, Prohaska, nice job. She leads the league in steals. Oxley, no good. Prohaska right there with the rebound. Oh, dishes off to Dean. Wow.
That's the reason why she's the assist leader chaser, right?
She is now, we think, 10 short of Nia Staples' career record here. She'll get that, I'm sure. Probably not tonight, but probably in the tournament sometime she will get it.
Har for a short jumper.
From the baseline, Allie Har. Allie Har comes in this game tonight. You got to watch for her because she comes in with 98 three-pointers.
Really?
And she will be going in second on the list in three-pointers. Laura Canatelli, of course, way out in front with the three-point.
I don't think that record will ever be touched.
No. She's right up the road at Dayton right now, but and nice job by Madison Rochelle. Offensive rebound, forced it back up again, and Madison Oxley with the foul. It's only the 5th foul, but it would be a shooting foul.
You can see the complexity of this game has changed, the complexion of the game. There's a lot more up and down the floor movement now. I think, as I said from the beginning, I think that's actually going to favor West, and it's showing in the scoreboard. Princeton was playing an early game control ball game with a zone defense to keep everything slowed down, and it worked in their favor.
Rochelle, 50% foul shooter. And off the rim. Vikes are 0 for 3 from the line.
Ouch.
Dudovic is back in the ball game for Lakota West, and Braddock's back in for the Vikes. Madison Rochelle, second attempt now for the freshman.
Boy, the future is bright if you're looking at the way Dudovic is playing.
Yes. And got that one. Jackie Hines went back in the ball game here for Princeton. Allie Har with the ball.
Oh, kick it out to the Har. Oh, the head R for a look.
There's Oxley, a long one, and she was hit back there, but it was well after the shot was taken, so not the old 4-point play tonight for that one.
Oh, pad pass.
Oh, nice job by Andy Fishman's going to call a quick timeout here. I think he's going to call a he's going to call a 30-second timeout right there. You see there's a close-up of Andy Fishman in his 21st year as coach there, so that's easy way to remember how many years Lakota West has been around, 21 years. So Lakota East and West.
You know, it's always interesting to think who's going to be the next person down the road to fill in shoes of Larry Cox and Coach Fishman.
You just don't ever think they're going to be gone, though.
You're exactly right.
It's just not Lakota West without Fishman Cox here. So
yeah.
Princeton has interesting thing. I looked this up today, Steve. In the GMC, which has been around since late 60s, I guess, one of the oldest leagues right now in continuous leagues in Cincinnati. Princeton has won the girls' league title more times than any other teams. They've won 15 times. They have been league champion.
No kidding.
Of the GMC. So a lot of those under Coach Phillips. Dean. Barr trying to look around. Now she finds Dean. Cross court to Jones. That was short. Dean puts it back up, and she is fouled. Nevaeh Dean puts it back up. The foul is on Jamisha Smith, her first, and that is the 10th now for Princeton. 1:24 to go here. Dean rolls it in. She's a 55% foul shooter. She's got all 5 of her points in this quarter. And Jones broke up that pass, kicked it out of bounds. Nice job by Sarah Jones.
Princeton definitely doesn't want the game to get out of hand here. Keep it in single digits by halftime.
And Gale's coming back in the ball game with 1:18 to go. She takes puts Allie Har on the bench. And there's Jones with the steal. Jones trying to go coast to coast, and she does. Sarah Jones, her first basket, her 3rd point. So right like this, after scoring 2 points in the first quarter, they have scored 21 in this quarter. Less than a minute to go. Another steal. Dean picks up the ball, bringing it over the timeline. Probably not who you want to bring it over the timeline. That's probably the girl you want to bring over the timeline is Jones. Prohaska.
West still has time to take their time on the shot. Oh.
Prohaska was looking for Dean underneath there, but broken up by Smith. Still scrambling for the ball down there, and they're going to call it a possession. Possession goes to Lakota. Yeah, I think. If it's possession.
Looks like
no, it's Princeton. I'm sorry, it's Princeton.
Yeah, Abby probably rushed that a little bit more than she really needed to. Princeton again rushing that shot a little bit more than they need to.
And I think Trinity Morris just picked up her 3rd foul. She did. Third foul on her.
Tough thing for the Vikings, they're running out of players.
Yeah, Willow White back in, the sophomore. Willow is a freshman, was honorable mention All-League. Reed was first team All-League last year, and so was Wilson. Lika Wilson was first team All-League. Meanwhile, Gales, 68% foul shooter, gets her first point of the night. Davis back in the ball game for Princeton, and Willow White, as we said, back in. Davis, 5'7" sophomore. There's got a lot of sophomores on this team.
Yeah, once again, the future is pretty strong for Princeton as well.
Yeah.
And a lot of playing experience.
And Oxley's coming back in here for the final 25 seconds for this first half. And nice inbounds. Nice job by Wilden to save it. Davis being double teamed, and I think double dribbled, yeah. Nice defensive job by the Firebirds. 17.6 seconds ago. Henderson, Tadukovic is going to take a seat on the bench. Henderson, 12 seconds to go here now. Henderson loses the ball out of bounds.
She's looking for a foul call there.
So Princeton, 5.7 seconds ago, they get the ball. Wilden's doing a lot of dribbling. She looks inside. She was looking inside to Smith, but broken up by Dean, and that's where we come to the end of the first half. A little more scoring this second quarter is 25-8 in favor of the Firebirds. Steve and I will be back for second half action in just a moment. Don't go away. Bill Brett, Steve Nguyen, glad you have joined us here on this cold night. Didn't have school here today.
Nope.
Nobody had school today.
Nope.
So we didn't have school today. So, but anyway, Steve, we're looking at the stats here, and I guess both teams are shooting 20%, which is obviously not good. But the stat that stands out is Wes has had 19 more attempts at the basket, and a lot of that is with the turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, I think going in, we knew that Wes would try to force turnovers, which is the name of the game for them. How they control the game early on is how they do that. But now you've got Princeton in a situation where they really can't play ball control anymore because they're behind.
Yeah, and they had 21 turnovers. The problem about it is they have two girls, Reed and Morris, with 3 fouls. So obviously they got to watch it here. Lakota West gets the ball coming out of this in this third quarter right now. We'll tell you our crew the next time we get a stoppage here. We'll tell you our crew here tonight.
Clearly, when Reed got that technical foul, losing her cool a little bit, really changed the way Princeton can play. You know, when your leading scorer goes down and has to come out because she has 3 fouls, it's very difficult to kind of learn a new system of what you rely on. I think that's what the Vikings are struggling with, is how to get offense without Reed out there. 7
different Firebirds scored points in that first half, led by Abby Prohaska's 9.
And those 3 points that she was shooting from came at big times, too.
They did. Stolen and then stolen right back by Gales. We played just about a minute.
See, Princeton going back to this zone, forcing patience again. This is what worked in the first quarter.
Deja vu, quarter number 1, which only each team scored 2 points.
Yep. And this is probably what Princeton should have done the entire second quarter.
Henderson back out to Prohaska and the Dean, and she overthrows Dean. So they played a minute and 18 seconds and got a turnover. No points.
Now the question is, can Princeton put a scoring run together without Reed, their leading scorer, on the floor?
Now, Reed did not come out on the floor here in this second half. So really, right now, Malika
That's a great look inside.
That's a nice look inside by Smith. That's Smith's first basket. Malika Wilden at 7 points a game is the leading scorer for the Vikings out there right now. Dean. Prohaska. Gales with the baseline drive, kicks it back out to Henderson. Henderson around a couple of players and forces a foul. Nice job by Bree Henderson.
The personal fouls are going to start coming into play here.
Smith picks up her first foul. Her second foul. It's the first of this quarter. We did check about Jasmine Ballou at halftime. She is under concussion protocol right now. That's the only thing they could tell us. We didn't, after we went off the air, we saw her being helped off of the floor back to the locker room area. So.
And very cautiously walking back there with
yes.
a lot of help. Hopefully she's okay and can make it back in time for the tournament play. It's going to be tough with a concussion situation.
Henderson picks up the 2 foul shots. Jill Phillips is going to call 30-second timeout here as the players are being tied up in their double team down there. Yeah, we wish her the best. Jasmine, as I said, a very intricate part of this Lakota West team. We will tell you our crew out here tonight. We've got Jason Jackson, Jake Reynolds, and Bob West on cameras, and of course the infamous Mike Lyons up on the cameras up there and right across from the floor, and I can see the smile on his face. Kyle Holton's out in the truck. He's our producer director. He's the guy that runs everything. Kyle does a super job putting this whole thing together here, so we appreciate him. We appreciate all the help of the volunteers who come out and help. And like I said, if it wasn't for those guys, Steve and I would just be sitting here talking to each other.
Yeah, with no angle.
Not talking to you. So 5:44 to go here in the third quarter. And that misses everything. A 3-pointer. Now Henderson almost with the steal, and Gales with the foul. That's her third.
I'm sure we'll see Gales coming off.
That's her first. Dudukovic is coming back in the ball game for Lakota West. Kalen. 5'11" freshman. I think we said this before, Steve. It always seems like Andy Fishman has a couple of really good freshmen on the teams like every year.
Yeah, they contribute consistently. You know, and that's what it is. She contributes consistently.
That's a nice drive there by Wilden, and that's her first basket from Malika. And stolen by him, Heinzman. Wilden trying to get another layup there. Does not fall. Prohaska back the other direction now for the Firebirds. She takes an 8-footer. Got it.
See, that shot is a perfect example of what Princeton can't do. They can't rush shots. They get opportunities, they can make a run, but they got to keep West from keeping pace with their scoring.
Prohaska had 3 3-pointers in the first half. That's her first 2-pointer. She has 11 points.
Oh, boy.
And completely throws it out of the bounds. And Jones and Hard coming back in the ball game, and Henderson Prohaska take a seat on the bench. Jones, cross court. Dudukovic with the basket, or the 3-point attempt, thrown up by Dean. Still battling underneath the basket, but finally Smith gets the ball. Back the other direction comes the Vikes.
Wow.
And nice shot by Willow White, the sophomore. Shows why she was honorable mention all-league last year. She has 5 points.
That's going to have to go through, the offense going to have to go through Willow, I think, at this point in time for Princeton.
She's one of the stars in the horizon here for Coach Jill Phillips. Hard, Jones, 3-point. And rolls around the rim. Dean, and she is fouled.
Wow.
Looks like Heinzman picked up the foul.
West was fortunate for that foul call.
Smith with foul, that's her third. And Nevaeh Dean will be at the line for 2. Off the rim, she's had 1 foul shot already tonight, so she's 1 for 2. We see Rochelle coming back in the ball game for Princeton. And Ashley Thomas, a 5'11 sophomore. I believe she is seeing her first action out there tonight, number 20. Braddock's also back in the ball game for the Vikings. Dean gets her second one. She has 6 points now. 30-14.
Princeton have not been able to get it within 15 yet. It's gotten as low as 15 in the lead, but not inside 15.
And we got a foul on the floor here. Nevaeh Dean picks up foul, her first, and that's team's second. Oh, it's almost taken away by Hard, but Braddock gets control of it. And they said that Thomas dribbled it on the timeline. Abby Prohaska back in the ball game. Dean takes a seat on the bench. Oxley to Har. Bring the ball over the floor here.
Princeton bring that zone out a little bit further to pressure the ball a little bit more. There's the turnover they were looking for.
Yep, and coming. Got frustration foul.
Yep.
Abby picks up her first foul. It's a third on the team. Of course, Abby's going to Notre Dame University. Sarah Jones going to Emory-Riddle down in Florida, I believe that is. Allie Hart going to Niagara.
Did you ever look up Emory? We talked about that.
No, I did not look that up. The only thing I think is Allie Harbear have a winter coat. Good one.
Anywhere in Niagara, you never want to go without preparing for some cold weather.
That's true. Sarah will definitely be a lot warmer. Abby won't be too warm either up at Notre Dame. Jones with the ball, kicks it back out, three-point attempt, no good, and loses. There, Vukovic got the ball, and Prohaska is fouled underneath.
Second chance baskets, helping West out right here, especially when you're shooting in the 20% range.
Braddock picks up the foul, her first, team's third. Abby is a 73% foul shooter and drains that one. It's her first attempt tonight. She has 12. She's the leading scorer in the game, believe it or not, at 12 points here in the third quarter. Got it. She averages 15-1. She's getting close to average right now.
She had 16 in the first matchup. Oh, what a great steal by Oxley.
Oxley, oh my. There, Prohaska, she goes bound the other direction, and she's got that 15-point right there. 34-14, 20-point lead now for the
Pressure's
Firebirds.
picking up. Full court man-to-man.
And nice drive by Trinity Morris. And we'll see this replay again. Morris, and it is blocked. Prohaska with the block there. Malika will come back in the ball game for the Vikings. And throws it out to Morris. Wilden dribbling on Oxley, and Prohaska tips it out of bounds, and last touch by the Vikings. As we see Henderson and Dean back in the ball game.
Yeah, the sophomore Thomas made a mistake of touching that ball as it was going out of bounds.
Bree Henderson. Oh, there's some Dean looking in. Prohaska turnaround, no good.
It's a good look, just didn't quite get the basket in. Coast to coast.
Coast to coast for Madison Rochelle. The freshman gets her first basket, her 3rd point. 16th point for the Vikings. Oxley, and she gets it. Madison Oxley in the books now with her first points, and she is fouled. You see the replay again, Ashley Thomas with the foul. And a foul over the back there. Oxley drains the foul shot, 54% foul shooter, and Madison comes out of the game, replaced by Jada Scales. That's the one thing, especially with not a deep bench over there, Steve, is that, and easy basket by Jones. Andy Fishman is just running him in and out. He's got fresh legs in there every couple minutes or so, and that's got to be wearing a team down.
Yeah, very much so. I think, and you got a combination of having your leading scorer out of the game. It's just a very hard road for Princeton to hold.
Yeah. Pass by Prohaska to Gales, and Gales is fouled. The foul is on Darius Braddock's. 5th foul now for Princeton. 3-point. Off the rim, and Jones battling underneath there, and a possession call. It's going to go to the Vikings. And we see Jasmine Ballou coming across the floor over here. She is very still, walking very slow. I think she really, the old cliche that we used when we were younger is, Steve, getting your bell rung.
I think she's past that point. I'm wondering if they're going to probably consider taking her the back way, which is a heck of a lot safer, I think.
Yeah.
At this point in time, she's having a tough time even taking steps. She's having a tough time taking steps even.
Yeah. I think she really needs to see some medical assistance. She's getting a big applause by the crowd that they have seen her over there, but she's being helped off by a couple of the coaches over there. As we said before, we wish our best to Jasmine. You see Coach Jill Phillips. A little bit frustrated tonight for Coach Phillips.
Yeah.
And there is DeAsia Reed, who's been sitting on the bench ever since the technical foul.
Another mark of a great coach is a disciplinary move based on a reaction.
Well, I'm thinking that's why DeAsia's having a little bench time. I think that's why DeAsia's having a little bench time here.
Yeah, I think it's exactly right.
Let's a little time to think it over. And that's a steal by Wilden. And Wilden too hard off the backboard.
Yeah, Princeton has to convert those turnovers. If not, this game is going to be out of hand pretty quickly again.
Yeah. Well, they could not convert. They lose the ball, and right back to West. 18 seconds go here in the 3rd quarter. Henderson. Down to 7 seconds now. Jones. See, Jones tries a 3-pointer, and she's going to drive the basket. And in and out, and that will not count if it went in because Bowser went off. So we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter with the Lakota West Firebirds. Easy 39-16 lead right now. Princeton's final game of the season will be home with Oak Hills. It's a winnable game for the Vikings. They have met Oak Hills earlier in the season, beat them 57-42. I tell you, the good one though is going to be on Saturday, over a couple miles over east of here at Mason. That's when West and Mason will meet. West won that first battle of the season with Mason. They won it 51-50, and I think, what do we figure out? Something like the last 3 times these teams have met, and that's counting the playoffs, it's been about 5-point difference between them, And that is going to be a good one because essentially that will be Lakota West is 14-0 right now in the league play. Mason's 13-1. So it's basically for the league title.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game. I wish we were calling it.
Yeah. If Lakota West wins this game, which it's obvious that they're well on their way of doing it, they will be no worse than a tie for league title with 15 wins.
Yeah, in the GMC, there's no head-to-head calculation for it's co-champions.
Right, it's just co-champs. Well, really, it would be logical anyway if Mason won. It would be.
Should be one of each.
It would split the difference there.
In the past, has it not been with the GMC, if you play a team twice, only one of the game counts towards league?
I don't know. I know they used to have 14 league games. Now they have, 16 league games. And the foul was on Trinity Morris, by the way, so Sarah Jones with the foul shot. Sarah now has made them both. Sarah now has 7 points. And Princeton's having a hard time. They lose it. Could not even get it more than 5 feet from the out-of-bounds line, and the pressure is on. Lakota West, I was going to say, started off shooting pretty bad from the foul line, but they have made up for it since that time. They have done quite well. They finished at quarter 8 for 10. And shot at is blocked by Smith. And right now, as far as foul shooting goes, and for the game, they're 14 for 17. So,
yeah, I tell you, shooting percentage-wise, West got a little bit better there in that third quarter.
Yeah,
I don't know if
couldn't
you
get much worse. No, it couldn't get much worse. But
they went from 20.6% to 22.9%. I actually believe that Princeton had a good game plan going in. It just got away from them in the second quarter.
Yeah. Jones. Out to Gales.
And you can see what Coach Phillips is doing here. You know, Deasia Reed aside, if you look at what she's doing here, she's still staying in the zone, which really works to Princeton's favor. I think really making sure they understand the system coming into the playoff run, the tournament run.
Kaylin out, Abby in.
Because typically when you're down by this type of score, you're in the man-to-man, but clearly they're working on their defensive fundamentals using the zone.
Jones with the three-point miss. Praska with the rebound. Allie Har. Praska thinks about it. Now she looks inside to Jones. Jones couldn't hold on to it, but did a good job of at least trying to hang on to it temporarily. Har with the rebound, probably one of the smallest players on the floor.
Yeah.
Dean forces it up. Smith battling underneath there. Possession call. It's going to go to Princeton. Tell you, Jamisa Smith's the 6'1" senior coming off the benches, giving Coach Phillips some good minutes in there. She's battling underneath the basket there.
Yep.
Done pretty well defensively. Westchester TV will be back in this gym on Friday night for the East-West Battle Part 2. Be doing the junior varsity and the varsity game that night, so a doubleheader that night. Unfortunately, I will not be able to make it, Steve, so you'll have to break somebody in there yourself here on that night. So, and how about Willow White for her second three-pointer? She now has 8 points.
You'll be missing a good matchup.
Yep. And Dean, and she travels.
Unfortunately, East will be the favored team going into that game against West. West having a tough season this year in the men's side.
They're struggling. A little frustrating there for Coach Matt Rooks.
Yep. I've had two boys play for Coach Rooks, and his mantra's always been defense and working hard, and he runs a lot of kids in and out of that floor. Let's just see how Lakota East responds to all that, but it's going to be an uphill battle for West for sure.
Madison Oxley picks up her second foul, and that is the fourth foul. That will put Trinity Morris at the line of 51% foul share. She missed her first 2 foul shots of the night. Got that one, though. Trinity in the books now with her first point.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for Princeton to have a real deep run into the tournament the way they shoot their free throws.
Got the second one. Now for the game, they were still, they're now 2 for 6 for 3 for 6. So only 15% for the game.
Consistent with their season stats, right?
Yep.
Oh, pass behind. Great job by Harvey and heads up.
Rolls off the rim. Oxley taken away by Heinzman. He said it's going to stay down on the Lakota West side, though. Madison Oxley triggering in now for the Firebirds. Prohaska double teamed. Yeah, scramble on the floor. Another possession call. And it says it's going to go to Princeton. I thought the last possession call went to Princeton.
No, it actually went to West and then back to Princeton.
All right, okay, we went. I'm a possession behind.
Yeah. Well, it happened pretty quick, within about 5 seconds.
Got to be fast on that clock.
You do.
I just got switched. So it'll be Lakota West now. 4:54 to go in this game.
Once again, a 20-point differential. It never got closer than 15.
Long three-pointer off the rim by White. Prohaska back the other direction now.
Good look inside.
And does not fall for Jones. Still battling underneath there and kicked it back out. It's going to go to the Vikes. Heinzman over the timeline. Trinity Morris.
Pretty good ball move by Princeton.
They are trying to look in off to Prohaska's foot. Dukovic's foot. Prohaska. She is fouled by Willow White. For Willow, that is actually her first foul. It's a team 7th, so that's going to put Abby on the line. Abby is 2 for 2 tonight. So 7 fouls, 4:03 to go in this game. After a very slow first quarter, Lakota West has been in control since that time, and she misses the front end of that.
Good hustle, Jackie.
Offensive rebound, though, by the West. And
looks like we had an official's timeout.
Official's timeout. I don't know what's going on over here. Oh, we had a Princeton player. That's Heinzman. She was out of our view over here. Something was happening. She was out of bounds over here. Oh, she fell on the chairs, according to Kyle Holton, who can see that from his camera angle up there. She's kind of limp. So under 4 minutes to go in this game. Lakota West trying to run it to 20-1 on the season, 15-0 in the league. Number 2 in the state this week. Has been number 2. They've been number 2 now for about 4 or 5 weeks in the poll. Number 1 is Newark, I believe.
Is that right?
They were number 1 most of last season and got upset in the tournament. Ashley Thomas picks up foul.
Dukovic will shoot this one.
Dukovic with the shot, and now Kalen's in the books with her first point.
This might be the last we see of Abby Prohaska.
She's the 9th Firebird to score in this game. That's pretty good since they only got 42 points. 9 players. That's pretty balanced.
Yeah.
There's a drive. Dean and was in there to block that out of bounds. Ashley Davis triggering in now for the Vikings. Vikings have 11 wins in the season, but 10 of those are GMC wins. And Dean with the block. Dukovic with the steal off to Jones. Off the rim, Oxley finishes it up.
Nice follow.
Madison Oxley with her 5th point. So down to 3 minutes to go in this game. We'll talk a little bit about the tournament here with Lakota West. Lakota West will play their sectional games not too far from here at Lakota East. We'll get that figured up here in a second here. Has scramble underneath, possession call. It's going to go to Lakota West. So over at Lakota East, you're going to have 3 sectionals over there. Lakota West will start their season, postseason with Withrow. That'll be Wednesday, February 14th, next Wednesday, 6 o'clock that game will be against Withrow. Lakota is the #1 seed in this Cincinnati area.
Not surprising there.
Their second game, assuming they win the first game, will be against Coleraine. Ouch.
Yeah.
The team they just beat 89-3. And also in that 85-3. And Little Miami and Anderson and Middletown are also over there in their particular section. So any way you look at it right now, I say, Steve, they have a pretty easy time over there. They should have no problem making it out to the district.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that. You know, when you look at a situation where you're playing Coleraine in the 2nd round,
Yeah.
a team you beat and only allowed to score 3 points, it's going to be a tough thing to keep the intensity up past that game.
Yeah, exactly. Mason's #3 seed. They're playing in the Cincinnati 2. They're playing also at Lakota East. And the Comets look like they will make it out to the district without too much of a problem. Oh, how about Dukovic with the steal? To Gales, to Dean, and Dean is fouled.
I see why Dukovic, as a freshman, plays a lot of minutes. She's got a combination of size, hustle, and does a nice job of being unselfish on the floor.
And she misses the first one on that. So we'll see that again.
There's the hustle
This
play.
is hustle. Look at that. Threw almost a no-look pass to Gales over the Dean, and Dean is fouled. She misses them both, though. Nevaeh is 1 for 4 tonight from the line. Gales, 3-pointer, got it. Jadis Gales, her first 3-pointer, her 5th point of the game tonight. As we're going down at about 1:30 to go here. As Wes stays undefeated in the state of Ohio. Oh, a nice 3-pointer by Willow White. That is her 3rd 3-pointer. She has 11 points. Well, average is 5-8 a game. They lost to their first game of the season. They lost to a team in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And that point on, it's been Hamilton Heights, Tennessee. They lost the first game of the season, and then
They didn't leave. What was the score of that game?
yeah, 50. Yeah, I mean they got beat 55-40
Wow.
in the game, and since that time they've run 20 straight off now, counting tonight.
Get a stop, Greg.
And right now we see Jada Mason in the ball game, and also Sydney Jones, along with Jessica Clark. So 30-some seconds ago here in the game here, and Stella Lacusa is also in the ball game for Lakota West. So Andy Fishman has emptied the bench officially. And Madison Rochelle with her 5th point. So that's it. We've gone down about 13 seconds ago right here. West probably will not take another shot. 5 seconds ago. And that's it. Your final is 47-27 in favor of Lakota West as the Firebirds move to 21 on the season, 15-0 in the league. Princeton falls to 11-8, 10-5 in the league. 1 to go for the Lakota West, and that's going to be a big one, as we said, at Mason. It is being broadcast by another channel, but it might be able to be seen up here in the Lakota area here. So yeah, I think that's what Kyle says they're going to probably get it. So ICRC TV will be doing that game. So watch for that game. Steve, it's been great working with you.
As always.
So your final, 47-27 in favor of the Firebirds. For the entire crew here for Westchester Community Television, this is Bill Brett saying goodbye.